Alright, so welcome to lesson 5. This time we're going to have a look at hammer-ons and pull-offs, and we're going to do that through an exercise, a scale exercise, and looking at the song Jack Davy. So for this lesson, again we're in the key of G major, and we're going to tune G, D, G, B, D. So get yourself nice and in tune before we get started. So hammer-ons and pull-offs give us access to notes that we wouldn't be able to get to otherwise. Because of the right hand technique in Clawhammer Banjo, you're limited sometimes as to which strings you can play after the previous string. So we can get around that by doing things like hammer-ons and pull-offs. So a hammer-on is exactly what you might think. You hammer onto the string with your finger. And a pull-off is also what you might think. You pull off from the string with your finger. So say we're playing the open G string, you hammer on to that second fret. It's the same kind of thing as fretting a string really, but you want to do it with even greater accuracy, a decent amount of force and speed. So just practice trying to get that to sound, and you can practice on all your fingers. So making sure all those fingers can do a hammer-on. I'm doing that from open. You can practice it from closed positions as well. So 1 hammering on to second, 2 hammering on to third, 3 hammering on to fourth, that kind of thing. And then a pull-off, you have a note already fretted, and then you pull away, usually to an open string, but it might be to a fretted note as well. So with the pull-off you can either pull down, like that, or some people prefer to sort of push up. See what feels most comfortable to you. Both work, both are right, it's just a personal preference. So we're going to look at the G scale, which is G, open G that is, second fret on that same G string, A, B, open B string, C, first fret, open D, and then we're going to do second fret on that D string. Use your first finger, so shift it up to second position, and that's the E, then F sharp, fourth fret with your third finger, all the way up to G on the 5th fret there. So on the way up we're going to hammer on, we're going to do G and hammer on to A, B to C, D to E, F sharp to G. And then we're going to do backwards pulling off, so G pulling off to F sharp, E pulling off to D, C pulling off to B, A pulling off to G. So with your metronome set to 60, using it as 30, we're going to go 1 and 2 and like that, so 1, 2, 3, 4. And repeat as necessary until you're comfortable. So taking a little look at the chords then before we learn the melody for Jack Davy. There are only two. We've got G and D7, and it's mostly just G, just a couple of bars of D7. So da 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 do. There's the D7. Back to G. And that's it. So really nice and simple chords there. Right, so learning this melody then, we're going to start straight away with a hammer on, open G to second fret, so G to A, and then da, da, can play this whole thing out of first position, by the way. So da, da, adding in the fifth string there, and then da, da, next bit, da, da, ga, da, da, ga, da. So da, 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 ga, da, hammer, da, da, ga, da. Now hammering on again. So that starts the same. This time around we're going to go. So hammer on, and then a normal one to fifth strings. Da, 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 ga, hammer on, ga, there. And then finishing off with B, brush, B, brush, fifth string B rather. Then we do the same thing again for a bit. Sorry. Da, 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 da. So that's the same as the first phrase. Da, 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 da. Then this time around. So hammer on with your fourth finger. If that's really hard, you can do your third finger, but good to get your fourth finger working. So da, hammer on, and then pull off, brush, G, brush, da, da, brush, G, brush, and then going into that D7 bit. So we're actually hammering onto that D7 chord. So you can have your first finger there ready, hammering on with your second. There's lots of brushing there. Hammer, brush, A, brush, A, brush, A. Now, you are really going to want to use that fourth finger because you've already got those fingers in use there. So down, hammer, and then pull off, brush, G, brush, pull off, brush, G, brush, G, brush, G. So you got the same bar twice there. Pull off, brush, G, brush, and again pull off, brush, G, brush, and then G, brush, G, and then that's it. You can repeat that tune round then. Da, 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 you're back into the beginning there. So when you've had a little bit of time to get that under your fingers, let's play it through together nice and slowly. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So that's the end of that lesson then. Well, I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you're getting on with learning the banjo. Let me know how you're doing, or if you have any questions about any of it, then I will try and answer them in the comments below. If you'd like to support the series, then of course you can leave a tip or buy the accompanying book, also in the description below. And I have my Patreon site, of course. So yeah, keep practicing and see you next time.